Howdy all, and welcome to part 14 of my playthrough series of Conan Exiles Enhanced. As I mentioned in the last rather unfortunate video, this video, one of the things I'm going to do is show off my new advanced base. And so I am up here on this particular, make sure there's no kudo up here for me to have to whack at. This particular plateau that's just outside the north gate of Seppermaru. My current base is just over there on the other side of that rise right there. I picked this location because I really like the idea of being up at the top of Ironbreaker Ridge here. So down here, you can see I've got a stable, which is just big enough for the horse and the rhino. Made mostly with the stable building material that you get out of the riders of something. Stairs are primarily just regular sandstone with these special railings, which I'll discuss as I get a little bit further up. And there it is. So as you might be able to tell if you've played this game for a while, that's not a regular base building material that exists in the game. That is a mod called Sand and Stone, and particularly of the two building types, that's the Ardashir building type. This, as I've said a bunch of times, and it's worth reiterating, is not a playthrough guide of how to do things or how to do them correctly or easily. I certainly do mention how to do things whenever I can, but a lot of the playthrough guides are all about how to do it in the vanilla base game. And clearly that's never been the way I operate, at least in this particular playthrough. So I have no problem in using a mod, a very popular mod, to build my base. So this is, like I said, almost entirely sand and stone, and then there's some desert town, which is another very popular mod for building material. And then there's actually a little bit of Turanian. The roof up there is Turanian from the Something of Turan DLC. I upgraded to the larger Wheel of Pain, the actual full Wheel of Pain here. In the course of going around Seppermaru, I found Olenna the Oathmaker. So I now have an Overseer, a Belly the Breaker still back over at my other base, and a driver. There's no reason to have different versions of these. They don't really give you anything in any different values, I don't think. They both speed up the conversion of a follower into a fighter or an archer or a crafter. And that's it. But I had the opportunity to grab Olenna, and so I said, why not? So, let me describe my thinking in the building of this base. A couple of episodes ago on his channel, Angar rebuilt his original pyramid base. In fact, he built it right down there. Right on the edge of that particular plateau that I was just down on. And I really like the interior layout of that base, but I don't like the pyramid. I've never been a fan of the pyramid. I think it's frankly pretty boring. So what he did is he built a 12 by 12 square base, and then building ramps along the outside edge all the way around leaning in. He had to put a wall down along the edge of the ramp all the way around to provide the support needed to be able to continue to build ramps up. That gave him the equivalent of a 10 by 10 usable interior space. So I thought, why not just build a 10 by 10 and then build on top of that? That allowed me to put these towers on the corners. And so, like his base, you come up to the first level and then go back down to the ground level. Unlike his, because he's got a pyramid, he actually ran stairs out at an angle, one wall out away from the pyramid, and then, covered them in. I wanted to build more of a sort of Versailles-like, up to a platform type stairs. This is the main reason why I like the Ardashir set in the Sand and Stone mod. I mean, I love the walls. I love the, sort of almost North African desert look to it. I love these tile foundations and ceilings and so on, and the fact that you can build these patterns using corners. It's so cool. I love that blue as it's reflected on the interior walls here, and this set does have interior walls, which apparently is something that Funcom just did with the new Vendian or Vendian set that it released in the June update as a purchasable DLC. People have been asking for that for a long time. The modders have obviously added them into a lot of their modded building sets. And so now finally Funcom has said, yeah, okay, that's a good idea. One of the other things that I like about this is that you have half-height walls, and so all of those sort of cruciform opening sections, this is the wall, that is the half wall, and you can build on half walls. There are some sets in the regular base Funcom stuff or the DLC, like the stable set, where you have half walls, but they are designed to create half-height partitions in spaces, not to be able to build on top of. You cannot put another wall, a roof, anything on top of the half walls in the stable set. You can in this set. It also has all of these wonderful things. You can build your own arch just by having a double wide opening and then putting these two arch pieces on either corner. Really cool. The towers allow me to run a battlement all the way around. So instead of having, since this is 1.5, it would be pretty weird to do it, but instead of having the sloped walls up to a pyramid, I actually have this battlement that runs all the way around, and then up here in the first level, it comes out to a balcony, and you get this great view of Sepper Maru. I mean, it's just fantastic. Now, before we go downstairs, let me actually go up. So I decided, instead of continuing to build the wall up, I decided to give it a flat roof that is much more typical of Middle Eastern and North African building. Eventually I'll put like a table and some chairs here so you can look at the sunrise, and up at the volcano and so on. And I'll put one over in this corner so you can look at the sunset and Sepper Maru. The only real problem with this is I have to jump up onto the ladder and climb up high enough to be able to shut the door. I mean, it'll shut automatically, but still. All right, so again, you come in the main entrance, and then there's this square here that goes up to an actual dome at the top. But then you come down here, and you see this huge space, this 10 by 10 space underneath here, in which I did a different sort of pattern on the floor that has more than enough room for everything I could possibly want. The only crafter I've brought over with me is Iblis of Zingara. And I'm a little bit thrown by that. I installed the Better Thralls mod so I can run more thralls than just one at a given time to be able to haul a whole bunch of them over here. And while that apparently works with fighters, so I brought these 4 fighters over with me, it doesn't work with crafters. You can still only bring 1 crafter at a time, which is a little unfortunate. But you see, this gives me plenty of space where I've got all of this storage, which I've, much more smartly divided up down here. Actually, that one's just sitting there waiting for, tools are all in here. Nothing yet in that one. I thought I had moved those. Apparently not. Valuables there. Decorations there. Usable material here. Oh, that's right, I haven't put anything in here yet because I haven't moved everything over. Yeah. So what I'll do is one of these will be armor, one of these will be weapons. This will be like material for the alchemy station, and this will be usable stuff. I also, since this has, like the floor above, a 1 wall and then half wall height, I didn't want to put a ton of these hanging lamps, and these are, as you can see, the Turanian hanging lamps. I didn't want to put a ton of them down here because they actually do hang pretty low. So I put a whole bunch of braziers of different types, mostly Sumerian and the smaller... oh, it's up there. Can I get to it? No. Anyway, the smaller Stygian. There we go. Yeah, I still have that thing where the lids don't close properly all the time. That's weird. Oh, and of course, being up here, I had to put a well in here because I'm no longer right next to a pond or a lake where I can get water. I'm basically up on top of a desert plateau. So that's the whole structure of the base. And now, instead of making you watch me haul all of my stuff up here, I'm going to do that offline. I have hit 45. Which means that I can now... That is not what I wanted to open up. Can or have learned the preservation box. So to make a preservation box, I need black ice and ice. But the preservation box will allow me to keep food basically free from spoiling forever. The thrall pot is really good at slowing down spoilage, but it doesn't stop it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my base, and I am going to get the material I need to not freeze to death, which will be basically some sort of spiced food, get a thrall, and then I am going to ride up to where you start climbing up to Skyfall Ridge, which is this thing up here. And that is right here at the northern end of all of the Mounds of the Dead. So, like I've done before, I'm going to ride up here as though I was going after the horses that are here, but instead I'll actually just ride around here, or maybe around here. You know what? If I decide to ride around this way, I'll bring you back when I get up here. Because we haven't gone around this way. You've seen this way. Or at least up to here when we fought some whites. But this right here is where we need to start. Alright, so... we get back into some light here. I am going to cut it here, and I will see you in a bit. And welcome back. If you can see back there, that's one of the roundhouses at the Mounds of the Dead. We are right here. I decided to just ride around and not show you the other pathway. I think I'm gonna try one or two Sumerians here. No, fight. Okay. There we go.
Curse you!
That looks like a short sword, so I'm assuming that person is going to be wielding a short sword. Did I just... or not at all. Do I want one more? I'm trying to see if I can get a mace. A star metal mace to upgrade. We attracted the attention of that archer too, so now the question is... Alright. Ooh, a better bow. Much better bow. Ooh. I assume you are wearing all... Yeah, I mean, I like the strength bonuses from the Slaver set, but wow. The extra armor class? That looks really stupid. But I'll let it go. Where are we? Come on. Let's put some of this stuff on here. How's that bow? I don't think I'll do any real significant more damage to it. I've only got 11 hardened steel arrows. Let's go ahead and put those on there as well, too. Alright, I don't want to go through all the hassle. If I try to get any more people out of here, I'm going to bring a ton of them down on us. So, why was I fighting those people without my star metal short sword? That was stupid. So you have to go up this trail, and the real danger in this trail is that there are saber-tooth cats all along here, or saber-tooths. I don't particularly want to fight them. It looks like that's not going to be an option. Ooh. They are tough, and as you see, they do a crap ton of damage.
You picked the wrong fight.
Let's not die here, shall we? Now, this is one of the reasons why I brought along extra healing wraps. Uh-oh. Oh, thank God they went after her. And I'm pretty happy that we got that extra armor. Bear cubs? Oh, great. Alright, well, I'd be a fool not to take all of this, because you get fur, as well as feline pelt off of the saber-tooths. I don't see a mama bear anywhere. Do I want to go grab that bear cub? No, 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 we have a mission. I forgot. Oh, man. How am I going to do this? I forgot to bring any spiced food. And I will hit extreme cold once I get up to where the black ice is. I mean, I can basically live through most of everything else, but that, I'll take damage. Oh, look at that. Look at you. Right up there where I need to go. Jerk. I don't want to ride all the way back. I'm going to have to try it. Let's see. An elk? Where'd you come from? All right. Let's see how far... Oh, wouldn't it be great if there's a chest up here if it had some spiced food in it? So before too long, we're going to start getting the message that it's I'm cold. So you have to climb up this switchback. Try not to fall off. And this is the first really cool thing about coming up here. Okay, you can see it popped up right there that I'm cold. I think it said cold. It might have said very cold. That's the one thing I kind of dislike about that, is that the messages pop up and then disappear so quickly in the new version. This is the outcast camp. And that is the outcast.
By the gods of ice and snow, a new dream approaches. Hello, little dream. You are probably not real. I offer you welcome and polite palaver. You are exiled, as am I. Philosopher giant, some call me. I have been called sophist and fool. I am the outcast, and I no longer have a name.
Now, you can talk to him a lot more if you want, but... And he will keep talking to you. I'll definitely take that. I'll take pretty much everything in here except the black ice throwing axes, because you can't... Okay, it says cold. That's fine. You can do absolutely fine all the way up to extreme cold. Even if it says it's very cold, you won't take damage. Unless you do something foolish like drink an ice cold water, and then you're going to be even colder. But up there, and actually right up there, it's going to be extremely cold. Yeah, okay, I'm in extremely cold right now. You can see I'm actually taking damage. Do I get out of extremely cold before I kill these goats? Oh, I'm still taking... Oh, still taking damage. And I'm stuck. Alright, come on. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of extremely cold. I thought it was very cold up in this area. Why am I still getting extremely cold? Alright. Okay, this... There we go. Alright, so I'm not going to be able to harvest black ice from the closest spot, which is basically right there. I'm going to have to go all the way to the other end of the ridge. To get my black ice. Let's heal up. I'll let my regular heals do it from here on in. This is all ice. What I want to do is get up at the top of that ridge, part of the ridge over there. And I don't believe that I'll be in extreme cold up there. I think it'll just be very cold. I might be wrong. I really wish I wasn't. I mean, like, I remembered to take Tears of Gullah for the damage, use the cooked pork and salted pork for all of the, buffs for Dina. Completely forgot to grab any sort of spiced food. So I'm in very cold now. Still okay. Alrighty. Go get. Oh, whacked that one pretty good. Alright, let's go for this one. Which is going after... Nope, going after me. Nope, going after you. Yeah, there's that weird aim up animation problem. Nope, fight. Don't move, fight. Fight.
You don't want to cause trouble here.
Alright. I'm not losing any health, so I'm not in extreme cold. This is a black ice rock nose, and they will have some black ice on them. Oops. Hardened steel smith. I've already gathered black ice. Oh, because I just did it. Alright, so there's no point in changing the journey over because I can't craft a hardened steel bar yet. Attack, I'll do it. Oh, oh no, it says very cold. So I've got the visual effect around the edges, but you can see I'm not losing any health. I don't really need a ton of black ice right at this level because I can't make anything other than the preservation boxes. How much ice? 172. I want 400. Although, actually, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter how much ice you put in there. One piece will do it. Yes, black ice is very heavy. Go ahead and put all of that on there. Still, even though I've got the visual effects of boy, you're cold, I'm not actually suffering from any damage or taking any damage. All right. I think I'll call that, once I get this guy, enough ice. I just have a habit. If I put ice in there, I kind of like it to be 100 in each one, and I'm going to make 4 boxes. But, you know, I don't need to. Alright, just in case we have to fight anybody else. Do you need to see me run all the way back in the same direction I've gone? I don't think you do. So I think I will cut it here and then bring you back when we're back at the new base so I can build those boxes and basically show you how that works. So I'll see you in a bit. And welcome back. So I stopped by my previous base to pick up some of the things that I would need to actually make the preservation boxes. And then I came up here to the new base and logged out, exited to the main menu, because for the entire way back, and until I logged out, the edging of the screen that was flashing the sort of, snow crystal effect that indicated that I was cold wouldn't stop. Even though clearly I'm in the desert, I wasn't cold at all. So I have no idea what that was, but the only way to get rid of it was to actually log out to the main menu and back. So that's why Dina's no longer following me, and I need to get Horse following me again, even though this is going to look silly, because I need all of the stuff that Horse has. Come on down here, y'all. Alright. I'm going to move the brazier so I can move the stove. I don't really need the thrall pot there anymore. That gives me that whole wall along which to build. There we are. Okay, so we're going to do 1, 2. Way too big. Only 2? Did I not bring enough? I didn't bring enough hardened steel. I could have sworn when I was looking at this back down at the base that I had lots of hardened steel. I've got some here. So it would have been drawing from this as well, or it should have been. What the heck? I'll sacrifice those hatchets. You can't turn the arrows. That gives me 21 more. Oh, looking good, Horse. Yeah, I guess I did use them all up. Well, I can make 1 more. I'm not sure if I've got enough to make... Let's see, right there, and... No. I don't have enough to make 3 more. And I'm not going to run, because we're at 34 minutes already, so I'm not going to run back to the base. What I will do is take the ice. Okay, I'm obviously well over encumbered because I've got all of the food from the thrall pot back at the old base on me. What am I doing? Open. Sort by type. That was already highlighted. That was stupid. Split. Alright, have 100. Alright, this one, closest to the stove, I always do raw material or raw food. material sounds pretty stupid. Oh, that's not all my raw. There we go. And I put the honey in there too because it's a cooking material. This one, sort by type. I always put in, oh, I missed some raw exquisite meat. I always put in just regular food. Food for the thralls, food for me. Anything that would count as cooked cooking material or just regular food. All right, and then we'll do the third one right now. I will make a fourth at some point. That will be both spicy food and usable food. You know, food for buffs. Where did the yellow lotus soup? Well, that must have been something I had. Yeah, why not? I don't know if I've ever used it. I'm not really sure what benefit it gets you. Let's split and split. And we'll put those back in cooked food. All right. I think that's going to do it. What else does Horse have on him? More stuff that I'm going to place in the various benches and so on. And I don't think Dina has anything. Nope. All right. So let me... Can I get in any direct sun out here in the balcony? I can. All right. And we're going to call that the video. All right, thanks for joining me on this particular playthrough of Conan Exiles Enhanced. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down. If you have any questions or comments about what I've done in this video or anything we do here on Nerd Caliber, please leave them in the comment section below. If you're not a subscriber and you like what we do here, please do consider subscribing, maybe clicking on that notification bell icon so you get notified when new videos go up. Having said all that, do please stay safe, be well, and bye-bye.